I found a 6'7" lockdown build in NBA 2K26 that gets bump steals consistently, can go finish his own dunks. We are bumping people up and down the court consistently, getting great contests, grabbing steals. We are going to have a 99 perimeter, 99 steal. We have a super high block, super high interior. We have solid shooting. We're still getting limitless range, enough pass accuracy to get the job done on any game mode. Getting chased down blocks out here on our brand new lockdown build. This is my first day in the park on this build. We're already getting bump steals, making him drop the ball, making him pick it up, and we are honestly forcing the secondary ball handler to take the ball up most of the time because the main guard does not want to dribble on us. I mean, what other lockdown build have you seen in 26 that's getting consistent bumps like this, as well as the chase down blocks you see on this build? Half the lockdown builds people are posting can't even get contests on the perimeter, and we are really out here doing it all. Not to mention we are shooting quick shoot, catch and shoots out of the corner. I have my build, my badges, animation, jump shot, and gameplay, and anything else you will need to make this build and play exactly like me as a lockdown in the park in NBA 2K26. I have finally found my favorite lockdown build of the year so far. But you guys will definitely be seeing a lot more gameplay on this one. Before we get into everything though, go down there, drop a like, drop a sub, turn the notifications on for me. I've been labbing all of these builds for you guys. Watch the video all the way through. I explain everything, and you have a lot of games to look at today to make a decision on if you want to make a lockdown like this. Without further ado though, let's get right into it. Alright, so here is my official 6'7" lockdown build. As you can see, we're going 6'7", 207 pounds with a 7-foot wingspan up there in the top right corner. And we do have this 75 driving dunk for the Devin Booker dunk styles. That is going to be the only finishing I ended up putting up, and it's really all you need on a lockdown build. Not to mention, we also have an 83 three-pointer for limitless range and a few other really good shooting badges that we'll talk about in a minute. We are shooting very consistently on this build though. You guys will see in the gameplay. 60 pass act, 60 ball handle, 65 speed of the ball. We're not going to do a ton of playmaking out here as a lockdown, but the defense is where this build really shines. 82 interior, 98 perimeter, gonna be 99 when I get another cat breaker. 94 steal, also will be 99 when I get more cat breakers. 84 block to get all the blocks you guys are gonna see in today's video. 62 rebound for bronze rebound chaser, bronze box out beast, just help out the center a little bit. 90 speed on a 6'7", 87 agility, 82 strength, and a 75 vertical to help with our blocks, our dunks, and make us more athletic overall. But yeah, like I said, I am gonna put one more cat breaker when I get it on my perimeter defense to get that to a 99. Eventually have a 99 steal, but 94 is definitely good enough for now, especially with how steal rating is in this game. Taking a look at our badges now, this is everything I currently have. As you can see, the Hall of Fame defensive badge is the Legend On-Ball Menace. We get Hall of Fame Immovable Enforcer with our Max +2. We're also using Set Shot Specialist on a Max +2 to get that to Hall of Fame. Like I said, shooting super consistently, but Legend On-Ball Menace with the Max +1 for now until we get 99, and then Gold Paint Patroller help with those blocks and get stops in the paint on bigger builds. Very, very good badge setup in my opinion, and I'm really liking it. Now we can go ahead and also take a look at my takeover that I'm using. It is going to be a glue takeover ability, but we get plus steal, plus block, and plus perimeter defense. So our steal and perimeter are both going to be 99, and our block does end up getting up to an 89. And this glue takeover ability is very good. It's like the clamps one from last year that makes the ball handler pick it up and bumps them very heavily. I'm really liking it, and this is what I'm rocking with. These animations are also what I've been using. Feel free to copy any of these down. Honestly, nothing for the dribble moves. Our ball handle is not super high, but I am using Kawhi Leonard motion style right now. Not saying it's the best, but that is what I have on. Go ahead and take any of these animations that you guys want to use. I'm also going to give you guys my jump shot. This is subject to change. I've been kind of bouncing around on this build quite a bit, but this is what I'm using at the moment. So go ahead and give it a try. Otherwise, I will have more coming in the future in other gameplays. But we have a lot of games to look at today, so let's start out with our first game in the park on this lockdown build. I made the build and came straight to the park, and you guys are about to see all of the first games that I did play. I mean, I got quite a few in here for you, and you can see exactly how this build is playing online against other people, especially in a 2K that a lot of people are complaining about the defense. But we're going to be out here getting stops, getting bumpy. I loved defense last year. I had a ton of lockdown builds, and I have a few this year already. And so I want to get good at it. I want to figure it out, and I want to figure out how to get a lot of stops in this game, because that is something people seem to be really struggling with. As you can see, you have to play defense a little bit different this year. You can't really go reach for the ball every time like you could last year. You can't get blitzes as much because that is something they said they're looking into, but you really can't get blitzes as much. So you just have to stay in good position. You can't rely on bump animations. You can't, like, there's one right there, but You can't rely on bump animations. You can't rely on steals. You just have to stay in a good position, get ready to contest. Like I was behind the screen there, still got a quote unquote open contest, but it is what it is. I mean, those open contests do affect the shooter quite a bit, but honestly, you have, like I said, you have to play defense a little bit different. I'm playing back, I'm jumping late for a contest, and we do get a really high contest there. This is something I've seen all over Twitter, all over YouTube. People are complaining about the defense quite a bit, and it definitely doesn't feel great. It doesn't feel like the greatest defensive 2K ever, but you can get stops if you know how to play defense. Like I said, play back a little bit. Try to bump when they're behind half court. So you can see I'm getting a little bump steal right there. But after they get past half court, play back a little bit, jump late for contests. They're going to get shots off, and you just have to try to hope that that jump at the end is a good enough contest, because there's a lot of blow-bys in this game. So if you're playing lockdown this year, you don't want to get blown by every time. With the length that we have on this build, you are able to jump from pretty far away and still get a decent contest. You just have to know when to jump and when to not jump, when to sit back and be patient and just play the bumps, play the position. Enough yap about that though. We really are out here just getting wins. I mean, like I said, I just brought this build to the park, and you guys are seeing some of my very first games. That guy gets a wide open shot but whiffs it. We're out on the break with the Devin Booker dunk style. Nice little standing dunk. That is a benefit of having these taller locks. I mean, last year I used a lot of 6'4" lockdowns. As I get the bump steal right there, going to dunk that one. That is the best feeling ever after everybody's been talking about the defense everywhere about this game. Getting a nice little bump steal, running and finishing a dunk feels very, very good on this lockdown build. Getting an open contest there, but he does end up missing it because he rushed the shot. Anyways, just being around people though, like I said, getting those open contests does make their shots speed up, slow down. It messes them up and it makes their green window smaller. And as you can see there, he tried to dunk on him, but he missed the dunk. That is another thing I'll talk about later in this video, is if I'm around the paint, because my interior and block is so high, it honestly makes the green window on people's dunks and layups very, very small. They have a hard time finishing anything like that over the top of me, and that's something I've really enjoyed about having a taller lockdown. I considered making a 6'4" right away just to test it for you guys and making that the first gameplay I dropped on one of these lockdowns this year, but I did end up going with a 6'7" just because the 6'4" I don't feel like it can jump from far enough away to get the contest. It might be able to, and I still am going to test it eventually, but I don't think it could get the contest in the paint that we need to on a lockdown, and I don't think it could contest the 7-footers that are shooting over everybody in the park right now. So I did go with the 6'7", and we are going to try this out, keep rolling with it and see how far we can get. There's the 60 pass accuracy cross court to my wide open guard, and I do end up getting that to him. I'm telling you guys right now, don't invest a ton into pass accuracy this year. This dude was cooking, I'm not gonna lie. I had to keep that in there. He had a crazy step back in the corner, wide open, ended up hitting the tempo. I'm not loving the tempo shooting so far this year, but I don't know, maybe I'll come around to it. It just feels like anybody that's using it is getting the tempo right, but not the timing. I don't know, it feels like in 2K you should have to at least time your jump shot, not just the tempo. That's just me. I don't know, maybe I'll change my mind on it, but that's how I feel right now anyways. It feels like centers are just making everything when they're using it, which is okay. I don't know, I'm not gonna complain too much, but anyways, my center gonna end up popping, hit another 3, and we're just out here winning every game we are playing. This is one of the more competitive lineups I've played with this year. We have a 6'6" guard with a high 3 high dunk, then we have a 6'9" popper. Those 6'9" poppers are looking really, really good. I think I'm gonna make a 6'10" one. I'm gonna have that coming for you guys soon as well. But that guy's gonna end up pulling up on the left wing, missed that. My guard's gonna end up pulling another jump shot, knocking it down in the left corner. And our job out here really is just to play defense. So you guys aren't going to see a ton of crazy highlight clips in videos like this unless it's like a block, a steal, or a stop. But we still are going to get this gameplay out for you guys. But a lot of it is, yeah, just me bumping. I have like a ton of clips of me just bumping guards like this, kicking the ball out, but they do need to work on those, and Mike Wang said they are working on it, but they do need to get a fix out for the bump steals. It just doesn't feel like the physics is right, and even if I'm in the right spot and the ball goes through my body or my hand, it's not popping out right now, and I think that will make defense a lot more fun once that's fixed and looking good, because I am getting full court bumps on this build. I mean, you guys see me pushing him. He's got to give the ball away. He's got to not be the primary ball handler when I'm on him, and that's the point of being a lockdown. I'm not out here to score 21 points. Like, I mean, I could last year on my lockdown, but I'm not out here to score 21 points. I'm not out here to dunk everything. I'm not out here to shoot everything. I'm out here to play defense, get stops for my team, and then we get out on transition and score easier and get a lot of wins. At the end of the day, that is what my job is as a lockdown. So that is what I'm going to focus on. But here we are, I'm guarding the center, and my center switched onto the guard there, but that is the nice part about having a 6'9" popper with a 6'7" lock. You guys can pretty much switch anything. If the guard's crossing with the center, you can both play perimeter defense. You can both get stops in the paint, pulling up a 3 in the corner, knocking it down. Like I said, I've bounced around from a few jump shots on this build, and I still haven't found one that I really, really love. but I will get back to you guys on that, have something for you soon. Their center pulls up, knocking down a tempo in the left corner, and I am going to end up being sitting in the right corner. We're going to win another game with me just posted up in the right corner as my center hits a half quarter there to win us another one. We're on and off streaks, having to hop off to get more games and stuff like that. But like I said, there's a full court pass with the pass accuracy at a 60. You really don't need it this year. Comparing this lockdown to my 6'10" lockdown though, I will say this lockdown definitely has better perimeter defense. Like, I'm moving a little bit better. I'm getting more bumps. I feel like the chase downs on the 6'10" are definitely better, like the blocks and the contests in the paint. But overall, I think they're both still very viable builds. So if you want to try that taller one, I'd say give it a try. That 6'10" is very, very fun, and it has a little bit more of offensive capabilities. Like, we can't really dribble on this build. We're not a complete cone, but we can't really dribble. And that 6'10" definitely can. I mean, I run it as a main guard on the twos. This build's basically just spot up in the corner, knock down shots, and get fast break dunks. But that's okay. It's more of a typical lockdown role rather than the 6'10", which is more of a have fun on it build. But I have a 6'6" lockdown that I've done some games on as well. I'll be dropping something on that for you guys. And then the 6'4", like I said, I'll test that eventually. I don't know when that'll be. It kind of depends on if they end up touching the perimeter defense or the steals or the contest system at all. So we're just gonna have to wait and see and go from there on that one. But if you guys have been watching the gameplay in the background as I've been talking through it, I mean, there's a lot of possessions where I'm just getting like near people, getting around people. I'm not like getting a bunch of reaches or a bunch of bumps, but I am staying in good position and getting there in time to get a decent contest or force them to at least give the ball up. Now, I don't remember if I mentioned it earlier, but I am going to go ahead and go shooting specialization on this build just to have that permanent max +2 on set shot specialist. I'm blinking red here. I didn't even have my Gatorade done in any of these clips or any of these games, by the way. So I went and did my Gatorade. I have that extra boost now, and we're definitely out there getting more stops with more energy. If you guys have made it this far in the video and you're still watching, let me know down in the comments if you want like a defensive tutorial. I feel like I'm getting pretty good stops out here, playing pretty good defense. So if you guys want any tips, tricks, settings, or anything like that I'm currently using, go ahead and drop that down in the comments and I will drop a more in-depth tutorial for you guys. I did recently post my top 5 lockdown builds in 2K26, so if you want this build or any of the other ones, make sure you're going to check that out. It's a pretty good breakdown, and it gives you guys everything you could possibly need to know about lockdowns this year. As my center jumps there, gets a decent contest on the center, but he does end up missing. We're out on the break, winning yet another game out here. One thing you guys did see on the build, though, is cap breakers are pretty important for this, especially for the perimeter defense. I do have one from my lifetime challenges, one from my season level 40. I have one from my crew rewards, and if you guys are looking for a crew, let me know down in the comments because we do have plenty of space and we are already unlocking free cap breakers that you guys could earn just from joining the crew. I also have cap breakers from hitting rookie 5, and I'm about to hit starter 3, so I'll have another one from that to make my perimeter 99. They're very important this year though, and even if it's not my crew, make sure you guys are joining a crew, preferably with more people so it levels up faster. But having those cap breakers will make these builds, any build that I'm posting, so much better. And by the end of the year, I'm hoping to have 20 plus cap breakers and a ton of different builds for you guys. So make sure you're grinding out those lifetime challenges. They're super easy and it will make your builds way better at the end of the day if you want to be winning more in 2K26. Back to the gameplay though, I am pulling up right over the guard in the corner. That's another nice thing because we do have a decent 3-point rating and pretty good badges. So a lot of times you're going to have a smaller guard or a less defensive guard on you in the corner at least. So you are able to shoot over the top of them if you know your jump shot. I'm not even using rhythm or tempo, whatever you want to call it, on this build. But I get another contest in the paint there, he has to try to pass out. But I'm not even using rhythm or tempo on this build, and we're still shooting pretty consistently. Force them to the center in the paint, they do end up missing. And I kept this in here just to show you guys how long we're playing defensive possessions for and still shutting down the other team the whole time in a 2K where everybody is complaining about the defense. And I mean, they end up coming away with the offensive possession with a miss, and we got a stop after playing defense for a good 50 seconds. I tipped the pass there. They're out on the break though, right back to the guard. And this guy was pretty fast, I'm not gonna lie. One of the harder guys to keep up with. We do get a contest in the paint. They missed that. We're out on the break, wide open, pump fake. Gonna end up trying to fade a corner 3, but they end up covering it. Back to the guard, who's gonna drive in, get a nice little dunk to tie it or give us a 4-point lead. 9-5. Back on the defensive end though, I am bumping him. He was like 6'2", super fast, and I just wanted to give you guys a taste of every single, like, anybody you might be guarding, how this build will match up and look against them, because there is a lot of different build variety this year, which is also something I really like. I have like 6 or 7 builds already this year, and I feel like I could just keep making them, and I'm having fun on every single one of them. The build variety is great, and the gameplay's been fun. So like I said, I just want to give you guys a look at anybody you could be guarding, any different kind of build, ISO, behind screen, screens, anything like that, or people that will be guarding you also. Guard reaches out of the play there. I'm wide open. My guard and center are back in the pick and roll, and this works very, very well. Once I get a stop, they have the freedom to just do whatever they want on offense and try to get us a bigger lead. 19-18, we pull ahead here. We desperately need to stop. I'm pressing the ball full court. As you can see, that Kawhi Leonard motion style keeps you with them pretty good, gives you a decent body up animation. They did end up scoring there though. My guard snatches back, hits a 3 for the win, and we end up coming away with yet another win in this video. We are not only blocking shots in the paint though, we're sending back shots on the perimeter as well. They're going to hit me on the break, and I'm finding my center wide open in the corner. He got a 93 on that popper, and we are not missing with that. I'm going to tell you that right now. Grabbing rebounds with that 60 rebound rating. 60 pass all the way down the court to my guard. Finds me back wide open, knocking it down. Getting another 3 there. We don't get a lot of looks because the guards are not leaving me in the corner. I can back cut for some easy buckets, but not getting a lot of open jump shots on this build at the moment. I mean, like I said, these were only my first few games though, so can't complain too much. Gonna find the guard on the back door though, knocking down that dunk, giving us a 16-10 lead, and we are just boxing this guard on the other side, and he cannot do anything. He's trying to cook up, he's trying to combo. Got a great contest on him in the paint. He's got to bail out. And there it is, right back to the secondary ball handler again. Like I was saying, if we can force the secondary ball handler to try to be the main guy, it's going to result in a lot of wins most of the time. We are going to end up coming away with another win here to end off this gameplay though. That is going to be it for my 6'7" lock. If you guys made it all the way to the end, I appreciate you watching all the way through. We're going absolutely crazy on this build. Let me know what you guys thought of this one down in the comments, and I will catch you in the next one.